This is a demo of my final project. First, I'm gonna go through the setup process from scratch, just so we avoid any confusions. Let's see. So go to this URL, and then let's clone this repo. Uh, Clone this wherever you want. And once that's done, let's go into the directory. And then first, let's go into the client directory, and then then install the dependencies. So run npm install. Um, This is going to take a while. So while that's going, I'm just going to briefly explain the purpose, like what the application does. It's just basically exactly as it sounds. It's like a time capsule for images. So what it does is it encrypts the images that the user uploads and sends that off onto IPFS, and then the encrypted keys um, and any other like important data about each image file is stored on the Ethereum blockchain, and that information won't be accessible until like the time that the user specifies is passed. And then once the user is able to access the information, they can access the private keys to decrypt the image, and then they can see it on the application. And that's about it. It's pretty simple. Oh wow, it's taking a lot longer than I thought. So feel free to just skip this part of the recording, the installation, and I'm just gonna go sign up for a minute. All right, cool. Now that's done. Let's go up one directory and then open this up in Sublime. Um, all right, so I included uh, there should so this contract is already deployed to Rankeby. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm just assume it's Rankeby. So if you just wanted to run the application, you can just use this and just do like npm run start to just like uh, start toying with the application. But you eventually need to go through what is it? This step of like setting up your setting up an account in Fura and setting up a wallet and creating a file called secrets.json in the client directory. Because you have to do this eventually if you want to run tests. So I set up some dummy accounts, and you can just instead of doing all that, you can just like copy and paste this or just use this info, and then just go through the steps. So I'm gonna delete. So I'm gonna go through that. So let's see. I'm gonna delete the contracts directory in the client. All right. And then I'm going to create a file. Let's see. New file, secrets.json. Then I'm going to paste this, save it. All right. Now you can use this command to deploy a version instance of the contract to the test network. Oops, we have to run this in the client directory. All right. Should take about like a minute. Let's give it some time. Also, mind you, if you do deploy another instance of the contract, whatever is in this file, this contract address won't be accurate anymore. I mean, you could just find that information in this file, but just as a heads up, um, again, this is only accurate if you use the what is it migrated version of the contract that came with the repo when you first downloaded it. All right, so that's still deploying. All right, now that that's done, let me show you where you can find that contract address information. So you can go here, scroll down. Actually, just look for the network. Here we go. So I think 4 refers to the Rinkeby test network. And then you can just, this is the address of the contract that was deployed. All right, so now that we know that information, let's go ahead and start the application. So npm from the client directory, run npm run start. And that should automatically take you, let me close this, to your web browser. At least it does for me. Oh, it's taking a while. Not sure why it's taking so long. It usually doesn't take this long. Okay, there we go. So since this is a newly deployed contract, there won't be any existing images. The contract that comes with the repo, I think I uploaded one image up there. So when you start up the application, you should see one. All right, so here's your current MetaMask address. So if you were to, let's say, so this is the dummy account I included for you guys. So this account is this right here. Um, but anyway, so if you switch accounts, you should see the address automatically update. So let's go back to the one that has Ether in it. All right, so let's just let's see, upload some images. The unlock date, let's set this as I'm allowing the user to, I mean, just for the purpose of this project, to like set a date that's already passed, just so we can unlock it right away instead of having to wait, like however many days to actually, see it unlock. So let's create one that's already passed, so July 1st, and then click on the upload button, and then um, It's encrypting the image in the background, and once that's done and it's sent it off to IPFS, you should get MetaMask should pop up in with the transaction to send the data about each image to the Ethereum blockchain. So once that transaction is confirmed, you should see it automatically update. There we go. Let's create two more. Let's see, what kind of images do we want to? Let's do archery. Let's name this the exact same thing. For this one, let's set the date to something that hasn't already been passed yet. So let's say like August 30th, and then click upload. Oh, by the way, you can see the date where it's supposed to be unlocked right here. All right. Let's hit confirm. And once that transaction is confirmed, we should see it pop up here. Oh, there we go. And then let's add one more, just for kicks. Let's, how about this one? All right, and let's set this one to a date that's already passed so we can actually see it. So let's just say July 15th. And upload. So to actually like unlock the image, you first have to like call a function on the contract to like like say that it can be released. So in order to do that, you see how like under this column, these are links. So this will initiate a transaction to the smart contract to release. So it'll check if the date has already passed or not. If it has passed, the transaction will go through and then give you back the information, like the private keys for each image that you can use to like decrypt the what is it, encrypted image in IPFS. So this one has already passed, so this should pass if you initiate the transaction. So press confirm. And then once the transaction goes through, you can see that the IPFS hash is turned into a link. That means that like the private keys are temporarily stored in the application again, and we can use them to decrypt the image. So let's say you click it, and then you see it pop up in the application. This one, the date hasn't passed yet. So if we try to do this transaction, a modifier should prevent it from passing. So here you can see that. So I'm just going to reject that for now. And then this one, since the data has already passed, again, the transaction should go through. And then you should confirm it. And then once that transaction goes through, you should see this turn into a link. There we go. And then click on it, and then there we go. And just let me just reload the page just so you can see that the state remains the same. So you can click on this and it will load it. Click on this image and it'll load that funny picture. And that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed.